You're locked in to the hottest station on the planet.
Resistance is futile. The revolution has begun.
You're listening to Rebelpreneur Radio, helping you break the rules and build the business you need for the life you want. And now, broadcasting his pirate signal
from somewhere beyond the status quo,
here's your host, best-selling author, marketing and media strategist, Ralph Brogden.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Rebelpreneur Radio, the show that helps you build the business you need so you can live the life you want. I'm Ralph Brogden. You've heard me say before that your mindset is key to your success, and a big part of building your business is building the mental and emotional resilience to overcome obstacles and achieve your goals. Now, that is easier said than done, but today's guest is going to help you learn how to create success without struggle. Now, is that even possible, success without struggle? Well, let's ask the expert and find out. Her name is Allyson Chavez. She is the ultimate prosperity coach and the queen of connection. She is an international speaker on the topics of mindset, prosperity, and how to create success without struggle. I am all ears. Allyson, welcome to Rebelpreneur Radio.
Ralph, I am beyond the moon excited to be here on this show with you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Well, we've been having a good time, and I thought we should probably turn on the microphone and involve the rest of the world in the good time that you and I have been having off air as we get set up for discussing this whole idea of a mindset that helps you create success without struggle. You are the best-selling author of The Prosperity Approach. You are an energy practitioner and a sales and communications trainer. You teach live events, you do webinars and online prosperity courses to entrepreneurs, as well as high-end private mentoring. So you bring a lot. Tell us, before we get into it too deeply, how did you get started doing this?
Oh, that's such a great story. So I've been a mentor for about 18 years, and I was a mentor with a different company. And about 5 years ago, I got that nudge, that inspiration that it was time to break off and create my own company. And so I did. And within about 2 years, I built that company to multiple six figures. And, money is all relative. We had never experienced that kind of money before in our lives. And it was really interesting because even as we started to live the life, right? And I'm using life in air quotes, we bought new cars. We were vacationing in Hawaii a couple times a year. I've got 4 kids. We were flying to Disney World. We took them to Hawaii. Everybody would say we had arrived. And yet, behind the scenes, I was in so much anxiety and so much self-doubt in my ability to not only keep the money that we had created, but to actually grow my business, that I would wake up in anxiety about 3 o'clock every morning. It would chase me all day long. I started to doubt my ability to get results from my clients. I started asking these questions that were like, oh no, what if I'm a hack? What if I'm a fraud? What if my clients stop paying me? What if they don't like me? And because those were the questions that were running in my mind all the time, that's exactly actually what started happening. Clients stopped paying me. Things started falling apart. So I started getting really busy in strategies and tactics and doing all of this work, but nothing was working. And I watched my business just dismantle in front of my face for the next year. And then I realized, I'm pretty sure that what's going on in my mind is what's creating the outer circumstances. And so I started getting really, really serious about mindset, and I call it inner stance, or playing your inner game. And what was I doing? And I was losing my inner game all day, every day. And because that's how I was showing up, that's exactly what had to show up in my business. So I got really, really committed. Simply because my voice is in my head. You've got those too, right, Ralph? Those voices in your head?
Absolutely.
Okay. Geniuses always have voices in their head.
That's
and
right.
They were super mean to me.
We do, don't we?
We do. We absolutely do. And I was listening to them tell me, tap out. This is too hard. You don't know what you're doing. Give up. Just go work at Target. And I just thought, this is really interesting. Am I going to listen to these voices that are telling me to quit? Or am I going to figure this out? Even if it takes me 50 years and we lose everything. Am I committed to just figuring out what's going on inside so I can really get a grip on this prosperity? And that's exactly what I did. I committed to it. This happened when we had $0 left in our bank account. It was the day, I call it the day the money ran out. And within 8 days, we had $15,000 in our account. Within 2 months, I'd made $52,000 and I was back on the game and back in my game. And so I am just passionate to share with people what I did, what I continue to do, and what they can do to make small tweaks in their inner game and within their mindset to change the whole trajectory of their life and their business.
Wow, that is an amazing story. You're right, it is incredible. And what I like about it is it's the hero to zero story, and then the zero back to hero.
Yeah. It was.
Well, that's really cool. And you're right. When people are really good at what they do and when they do achieve a certain measure of success, it is something that is not anticipated at the time, but it is very real. And you just highlighted it, that we begin to overthink and overanalyze the reason for our success. And then fear can come in that we will lose what we have already achieved.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. And it's because of the stories that we run in our mind. We can tell ourselves all day long, I deserve this. I work hard. I'm a good person. I'm worthy and I'm deserving. But if you've got stuff going on in your subconscious that's running a different program, which all of us do, you're not going to maintain that success. It won't allow you to. And that was the experience that I had with it.
Tell us a little bit more, now that you have really dialed this in for yourself. Tell us more about how you're able to make these shifts for other people. Who do you work with?
I love working with entrepreneurs. I love working with women entrepreneurs, but I love working with smart male entrepreneurs as well.
Good. That's good. All right.
Yes, we're not going to leave anybody out. But
no one left behind.
Exactly. I love working because, we entrepreneurs we're our own brand of crazy, right? And I love the way we think, and I love the conversations we have and the ideas that we have. And so I love to work with those people who are like, oh, I'm so close. I just need to figure out this one other thing. And if I get this figured out, everything will fall into place. So there's just this one missing piece. And if I get that, and I'm like, I know what it is. It's actually a couple of missing pieces, but they're really cool to put into place. So those who are just getting started, though, also entrepreneurs who have reached a level of success, but then they've kind of put a self-imposed glass ceiling on themselves and they're having a hard time reaching that next level. I also love working with people that are getting to that next level success as well.
That's really cool. So now you've got me intrigued, and you've got all the listening world intrigued, waiting to hear, what are the two things that we're missing? What's the big problem with the people that you work with that is causing them to self-sabotage?
So the biggest thing is how you see yourself, because most people do not see themselves as powerful. I love to tell my entrepreneurs that no amount of coaching, strategies, training, connections, or opportunities will make a lasting difference if you do not first see yourself as powerful. And so it's that, feeling like they still have to earn their way instead of claiming their power. And it traces back to the questions that they're asking themselves all the time. Tony Robbins said that the quality of your life is a direct reflection of the quality of questions you ask yourself. And every question we ask ourselves is powerful, but it's powerful in the direction that it points us. So it'll either propel us forward, it will paralyze us, it also looks like spinning, or it will pedal us backward. And so when we just get into awareness of what those questions that we're asking ourselves are, then we know exactly what direction we're going. We can tweak the question and then get us back on the track and then start running that track. So really it's powerful, seeing yourselves as powerful, the questions that you're asking yourself, and then your inner stance, which is the place you operate from, right in your mind.
I remember Tony talking about that. And one of the most not empowering, the opposite, disempowering questions you can ask yourself is, why me? Because when you ask why, you're putting your mind in an infinite loop because there is no answer. No one can say for sure, this is why this is happening to me. So one way, and see if this works, if I'm doing this the right way, Allyson, one way to turn that around is, why not me?
Ah, yes. That one is much easier to ask. It's so much more powerful.
Yeah. So
to ask.
Why can't I have the success? Why can't I have the prosperity? Why can't I grow my business? Well, turn that around. Why can't you? Why don't you? Why shouldn't you? Why should this other person and not you? Why not you? And
why not you?
Why not you? Yeah.
And I found too that your mind will actually answer those questions like, why me? Oh, well, it's because you still got 30 pounds that you got to lose. It's because you eat chocolate all the time. It's because you're really not a great mother. It's because you're not present with your kids. It's because you have no idea what to do with marketing. It's because you don't know what you're doing. And then it just spirals us down, right?
Yeah.
Down, because those are they're so powerful. Those questions are so powerful, but they lead you backwards until you just feel like you're frozen on the floor.
Or stupid stuff like, what's the best kind of WordPress theme I should install on my website today?
Oh, yes.
So we do. How can I make my website look as beautiful as Allysons? And all these disempowering questions. It's like, you know what? Just that's not where you need to be. And,
no.
And the other thing I remember Tony saying that you should ask is, how can I use this? How can I turn this around? I might not have the resources, but how can I be more resourceful? How can I use what I already have? Even if it is a crappy website design, that doesn't really matter if you're focused on the right things. It will improve in time. But a lot of people, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think a lot of people, they hide behind these false excuses for why they're not prospering, why they're not successful in growing their business. And they got a long list of stupid stuff they think they have to do. And you're saying that's really just not even necessary. It's all a mental game we're playing with ourselves.
It is all a mental game. Every single last piece of it is a mental game. If you did nothing with your business, but you focused solely on your mental game, that inner game, your business will turn around. And let me tell you why. Because this is not like, oh, we're just going to receive and everything's going to come to us. I mean, receiving is really important. But when you are working on your inner game and you are asking questions that are going to move you forward, you literally pop yourself into a vibration where the ideas are. So if you're starting to see yourself as powerful and you're asking questions that get you going in the direction you want to go, you get ideas that will just drop in. And then you just start executing on those ideas. And they're small little ideas. They're, send a text over here or send an email out over there. Like, honestly, Ralph, when I made $52,000, it was from an email that I sat down and in 5 minutes I sent. Yeah. And within a week, I'd made $15,000 and 2 months later, 52. It's because I had put myself where the ideas are.
That's it. And it's never the big complicated thing. It's always the really simple thing, but you are the one that gets in the way of your own success over and over again. And we've heard people say it, but it's tough. Once again, it's a mental thing. Well, that sounds too easy. That sounds too good to be true. So what can someone do right now that they've heard this for 1,000 different ways, 1,000 different times, but they haven't taken action on it? Well, what can someone do right now to begin to see some immediate improvement in this area and at least start taking steps towards a prosperity mindset?
Oh. All right. I'm going to share with you the strategy that got me the $52,000.
Okay.
I have to give the credit where credit is due. I learned this from Mel Robbins, which was so interesting because that whole conversation was just a side like, oh, have you heard of this that I was having with a colleague? I'd never heard of her before that. And then within like a day, I did this strategy and it worked. So it's called the 5-second rule. So just get yourself into, okay. I was going to say, get yourself into a quiet space, but then people are like, I need to light candles and I need to clean my space. So no, just like sit down and take a breath. Okay. Sit down and take a breath. And then just ask, and then get really clear on what it is you want. So if you're wanting more clients, so in my case, I wanted a cash injection. Like we were at zero. I needed money and I needed money quickly. And so I was like, I want to get some more clients and I want $10,000. So, all right, what is the next best step for me to get $10,000? I took a breath, I closed my eyes, and I just got quiet. And the idea just bubbled up and it came in my own voice. There were no trumpets. It was just a suggestion. So I just want you to know, if you're waiting for the hello, this is your intuition. Like, that's not going to happen. Okay. So just send out an email.
And if it does, let us know, because you might need some help.
Yes, please tell me what connections you have to get that kind of answer. So then it just dropped in. Send an email. And at the time I was doing a 4-day live intensive and I was charging about $2,000 for it. And I had a bunch of people in a group program already. And the idea was gift them that $2,000 4-day intensive if they work with you privately for 3 months. And at the time I was charging $5,000 for 3 months of private mentoring. And I was like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, go. And that's the 5-second rule. You give yourself the countdown from 5 to 0, because that doesn't give your mind enough time to talk you out of it. And I just sat down and boom, sent the email. And immediately I was like, hey, if you want to come to this intensive for free, shoot me an email and let me know. And yeah, they were like, yes, let me know. So I set up a call with them and saw how I could help them and serve them. And if it was a good fit, I offered that private mentoring. And I had 3 people in a week say yes. And then within 2 months, I had 10 more people. So that's really simple, but you've got to, just sit down and ask for what it is that you're wanting, get clear on what it is that you want, and then what's my next best step towards that?
Yeah. See, they don't teach you that in marketing school.
No, they do not. They talk about copy. Go take a copy course.
Yeah.
You got to have really compelling copy.
It's got to be killer copy.
Oh yeah. It's got to speak to your ideal client. It's got to have the exact words. And then we just give up before we even get started because we get so in our head about it.
Yeah. The largest, the best, and the most successful business transactions I have ever had have been the ones that they just kind of happened and I really didn't have to do a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, and that was the thing that was so miraculous to me, was that this was the easiest, most delightful, effortless $50,000 I'd ever made with clients that I adored and clients who adored me. And okay, some of you were saying, yeah, but I'm not a coach. I don't have a big email list. I'm not, so it'll work no matter what kind of business you're in. If you're in a brick and mortar, if you're just getting started, if you're trying to get to next level, if you don't have a business and you're working for one, it will work no matter what question you're asking. Just get really clear on this is where I'm going. What's the next best step to get me there?
And the key to that is the 5 seconds, right? You don't give yourself enough time to sabotage the answer.
Exactly. Yep. That is the key to the 5 seconds.
That is amazing. Now, like we were saying off air, the biggest problem with self-help is that it's really, really hard to help yourself. And that's why there's a need for coaches and consultants and experts and leaders to take us and basically do what you just did in a few seconds, give us some new distinctions. So tell us a little bit about your coaching and the resources that you offer to people to begin to make these radical transformations in their mindset.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so excited to do that. So they're called blind spots for a reason, my friends. Yeah. You need somebody who is far enough away from it that they can see the blind spots. That's why I have called myself the queen of connection, because I can connect what's going on with you because you're way too close to see it. So first of all, that's where we want to go, is we want somebody who is not standing in front of the tree going, where the heck is the tree? I can't see anything. We're like, yeah, you're in a forest. So you want somebody that can see those blind spots. And I am really, really good at hearing your language and knowing where your language is tripping you up. So we just make little tweaks to your language. We go into and we find your story. And a lot of coaches will talk about what's the limiting belief that's holding you back. To me, that's really heavy, and that puts us in a tailspin already. So I like to change limiting beliefs into stories. Like, what's the story that you're running? You can find your story so quickly just by getting an awareness of the questions that you're asking. So I ask those questions where we've defined what the story is and what's the story that you want to run instead. So then we create that new story together, and I give you the strategies for seeing yourself powerfully. We've got to learn the language of energy. We've got to know where our body is, what frequency that we're in, and we can tell from our emotions. And most people are so afraid of their emotions, they don't want to feel them at all, but they are powerful indicators of the stories that we're running. So we've got to get curious about that and then learn how to raise our vibration when we're feeling scared, when we're feeling discouraged, when we're feeling fearful. That's really hard to jump to gratitude and power and certainty. So we just get to do some techniques that are really fast and really easy, that I call them easy access points or easy entry points, that just get us feeling better no matter what is going on around us. Because when you can do that, you will change what is going on around you in real ways. Your bank account, your relationships, your weight, your spirituality, your connection with your higher power. You'll change all of it. And that's what I offer people. And I offer that through high-end mentoring. And I offer it also through an automated program called Success Without Struggle Virtual Bootcamp. And I give you all of the things that you need to reprogram your subconscious, to communicating with others in a very authentic, genuine way, which creates relationship currency, which turns into financial currency for both of you. So there's no more manipulation in sales. Makes sales really fun, really, really easy to do. So you can stay in your own authenticity and really come from a place of service. And we just put those pieces together, and it's so fun. It makes the journey so joyful and so pleasant.
Wow. That's really inspiring just to hear you describe what's possible. With the mindset, and by changing the mindset, you can change everything else. But if you change everything else and you don't change the mindset, then nothing is really going to work. Or even if it does work, it's not going to be fun. You're not going to enjoy it.
No, I mean, even when I was living in quote unquote prosperity, Ralph, I did not feel prosperous at all. And I had no desire to go back. So we were making between $25,000 and $30,000 a month. I did not want to make that much at the price of my peace of mind. That was not worth it. That wasn't prosperity to me. So now I'm like, okay, let's do it right. So you're absolutely right. You can do all the outer things, but if your inner game is not on, you'll build it, but it will be so hard and so uncomfortable, and then you won't be able to maintain it. And please just believe me, you won't. You won't. And I want to spare you that agony. We want to take you from zero to hero, not zero to hero to zero to hero. Cut that part out. I did it for you, so you don't have to.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a powerful testimony, and I appreciate your honesty and sharing that, because a lot of people, they just assume that we emerged from the womb as successful entrepreneurs, and they don't see the struggle. They don't see the ups and the downs and the things that we go through. But once you've dialed that in and you have figured out how to crack the code in your own head, then you discover, like I have with psychology, that there are differences that we can notice about one another, but deep down at the core, all of us pretty much behave in a very predictable, similar fashion. So if you get the manual, you get the code book, you can kind of crack the code for yourself and do it for other people as a way to help them get where they want to be without all the hassle and the time and energy and expense that you invested to figure it out. They can leverage your experiences and really take some years off of the learning curve.
Yes, and a whole lot of agony off the learning curve as well. Because I have a saying on my desk, and it says, the journey is the destination. And it is. If your journey is just filled with angst and doubt and confusion, the destination will hold the same thing. So we want the journey to just be delightful and fun and an adventure and exploring and awareness without judgment. Even if the circumstances feel like they're falling apart, it's like, they're just falling into place. So this is awesome. We're here.
It is awesome.
And I'm really pleased with that.
Well, I'll be honest with you. When I was reading my script to introduce you, and I saw the pitch for success without struggle, I specifically wrote, "Is that even possible?" I put that in the script. Is that even possible? Success without struggle? And I'll tell you something else. I wrote it wrong, and maybe this is a Freudian slip, but I put shit that I wrote in here literally. Swear, I'm not lying at all. Being totally honest, I wrote, "Today's guest is going to help you learn how to create stress without struggle." And then as I read it, I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. And so I read it correctly, but I wrote it incorrectly. It's like a Freudian slip. Stress.
Wow.
She's not helping create stress, you moron. It's success without struggle.
You know how to create stress without any struggle at all. So I don't need to do that.
You don't need help with that, do you?
I love it. And you know what? You absolutely can. You can create success without the struggle. It's just learning how to let go of the struggle so that you have the room to hold and receive the success. And it gets to be just this beautiful, fun kind of a dance. Like, oh, I'm holding on to struggle. How was that feeling? Let's just let that go. Like, it's just, people talk about flow, and that's really what it is, where you can just be so happy and content with what's in the moment while also looking with joy and absolute expectation for the good that is coming to you. It's one of the universal laws I teach called the law of sufficiency and abundance.
Wow.
And it's the key. It's so delicious. It's so.
Well, this has been really encouraging and inspiring to me, Freudian slips notwithstanding. And I know that our listeners will want to be able to reach out to you and learn more. So
Yes.
how can people connect with you?
Well, they can go to my website, which is AllysonChavez.com, and I'll spell it for you. It's ALLYSON, and Chavez is spelled just like Chavez, CHAV as in Victor, EZ as in Zebra.com, AllysonChavez.com, and you can see what I'm all about there. But I would love to have you come to my Success Without Struggle free masterclass, and I do them every week. They're online, and you can register for that at prosperityapproach.com/masterclass. And this is where I teach you those tricks. I teach you my whole system for having that success without struggle and winning your inner game. So that's prosperityapproach.com/masterclass. Completely free webinar, and I do them every week.
Awesome. Well, that's exciting. I think I'm going to sign up and get my mindset where it needs to be, because you really motivated me to get my act together.
So my job here is complete, Ralph.
Yeah. Well, this has been really, really fun. And you do make it fun, and you do bring the energy. And so it's been a real delight to have you on the show. Any final thoughts or words of wisdom that you'd like to share with our listeners as we close up?
Yes. And I want to quote one of my favorite essayists, Henry David Thoreau. And he said, "I learned this, at least, by my experiment, that if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours." And my friend, let's have a fabulous experiment together to advance confidently in the direction of your dreams to achieve success without struggle.
Awesome. Words to live by. From Allyson Chavez. She is the ultimate prosperity coach and the queen of connection. She's an international speaker on the topics of mindset, prosperity, and how to create success without struggle. She is the real thing, and you can find out more at her website, AllysonChavez.com, or you can go join that masterclass at prosperityapproach.com/masterclass. Allyson, it's been a real pleasure to connect with you, and I appreciate your time and sharing your wisdom with us. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me, Ralph. What a joy, what an honor, and a pleasure.
You've been listening to Rebelpreneur Radio with Ralph Brogden. Download the show notes and much more at ralphbrogden.com.